SMEs are critical to any economy as they make significant impacts to the country's economic development through job creation and innovation. However, many SMEs in Africa face difficulties in accessing finances because they lack their traditional forms of collateral such as land or buildings, which are often required by banks. Some of the audiences during the Figuring Out Finance for Africa's SMEs panel discussion wanted to find out from financing entities how they can navigate the sources of funding for African entrepreneurs.
Need a significant amount of collateral. It's actually a way of a bank saying, no, we're not interested in the transaction. And they're saying that politely because they don't want to start critiquing the business plan or anything like that. The other reason can be is because simply debt funding is not the right funding structure for a transaction of that nature. And here again in Namibia, we're in a bind because we don't have a venture capital fund yet.
Just look at the definition of collateral. I mean, it must be something, that the bank can sell if the entrepreneur defaults. I was just thinking, it's maybe a stupid idea. Maybe, from a digital point of view, whether the entrepreneurs got like Bitcoins or whatever, that can be used as collateral. So honestly speaking, I don't have a specific answer for you on that one, but it's really something that I think needs some thought.
I think for me, it's not only about the collateral. That shouldn't be the thing. It's about how you position the deal. It's about who are the team that's behind it. It's about the whole concept. It's about how it was thought through. That also sometimes one needs to take into consideration. And then, but sometimes the deal breaker can become the collateral. I think for me, it's also, if it's a startup, and I think to what lengths have you also going to trying to secure maybe other partners, and how do you trying to diversify the business looking at other investors as well?
At the most basic level, right, the point of collateral is protection against credit default. That's what it's there for. Right? Now, going forward, especially with the advent of artificial intelligence and technology, right? I believe that there will be other ways to predict credit default. There will be other ways. There will be other parameters that machines can use to predict credit default. So I think that the future is really predictive model.
The panelists also highlighted the need to address the collateral issue through innovative financing solutions to unlock growth opportunities. These are solutions such as microfinance, mobile banking, venture capital, and impact investing, and government and programs.
The question is, what is the future for funding in Africa? I think in the past we saw a lot of debt funding. I think this will change in the future to more venture capital and private equity, because then you don't need a collateral. The idea is your collateral. It's not an interest, it's not a debt, but at least you have a skin in the game as a venture capitalist. And the social entrepreneur, impact investors are looking for investment opportunities in Africa.
There is a credit guarantee scheme for slightly smaller SMEs that's rolled out through most of the commercial banks in the country, where there's government funding where 60% of the collateral need can be covered. The product is of such a nature that if the business case is compelling, the banks are actually happy to say, we're not going to go for the 100 or 120% collateral we normally take, but we're only happy with the 60 that this credit guarantee offers. But for that, the entrepreneur really must have done the homework.
Jolanda Fuka for Business Today, Buntuk.